I have completely changed my mind on the Drake May and Patriots situation. When that pick first went through, I thought the Patriots made a terrible decision, like a lot of people did. But I took a step back and I looked at it from as unbiased opinion as I possibly can, make it apparent in all my AFC East videos that I am a Jets fan, so obviously I'm going to have some slight bias in all these situations, but I try to look at it from an unbiased perspective when looking at these issues. Drake May, when he was first selected, I was kind of shocked. And I'm not shocked that he went high in the draft by any means. For the last year, he's been in mock drafts as a top two pick. So he actually fell, if anything, to number three because of Jaden Daniels. But the biggest issue with him for the last year has basically been his inaccuracy. And while that doesn't always mean that you're going to be inaccurate in the NFL, the biggest thing I think that hurt him in fans' eyes, and this is not for teams, in fans' eyes, is that he's being compared a lot to Zach Wilson, and obviously we saw Zach Wilson just completely fail as a New York Jet. Obviously, he's getting a second opportunity in Denver. We don't know what's going to happen with that. But he failed in New York. He has a lot of the same strong characteristics coming out of college as Drake May did. And that's mostly just his arm talent, which is very apparent with both players. And then Drake May has the inaccuracy issues, which is obviously going to be something that he has to work on. But a lot of his inaccuracy issues seem to be from flawed mechanics, which he could easily work on. And the reason that I've changed my opinion is because with taking a step back, looking at the Patriots roster, I really, really hope that for May's sake and the Patriots' sake, that the Patriots just decide to sit him for this year. Don't even try to start him at the end of the year like sometimes they do with first round quarterbacks. He has a ton of talent. We know that. We don't need to see him at the end of the year. Let him sit behind Brissett, and I think also give Jacoby Brissett a fair opportunity to go into a season as a full season starter. I think he's earned that. Obviously, since he left the Patriots the first time, he's kind of jumped all over the place. Most recently with the Browns, and then last season with the Washington Commanders. He never really got a fair shot of like, you're the starter, and like you have to basically play bad to lose your spot. It was basically the people in front of him had to play bad, or obviously the Deshaun Watson situation in Cleveland. He did start as the starter, but as soon as Watson came back from suspension, you knew that was his team. And then last year, he sat behind Sam Howell, and that was Sam Howell's job to lose, and he did lose it, and obviously a bunch of changes happened in Washington. And Jacoby Brissett, going back to the place that he originally started with New England, I think it's a really, really good chance for Jacoby Brissett, one, to help raise a bunch of the young talent that the Patriots drafted. I'm a huge fan of their draft, especially the two wide receivers they got in Jalen Polk and Javon Baker. I think those are two really good wide receivers. And the one thing that we have seen a lot in the NFL recently is that young receivers can contribute right away in the NFL. Last season, we saw it with Puka Nacua. We've seen it, with the young studs like Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase. There's a whole list of receivers that basically, as soon as they come into the league, they're ready to be superstars, basically. And obviously, you're not expecting Jalen Polk or Javon Baker to be those superstars because they weren't, the top 20 picks that these other players were. Puka Nacua, for example, was actually a later round pick. But these young receivers have a chance to develop really early on and become stars. I think having a veteran quarterback for them, like Jacoby Brissett, is going to be great for their development. And Drake May, he could sit behind Jacoby Brissett, a veteran in the league who's seen, a lot of different situations. Is going to be able to help Drake May kind of learn the game, allow him to, sit back and work on his fundamentals, allow him to, try to fix his accuracy issues. And I'm not saying that his accuracy issues are unfixable or, he's never going to be a good quarterback because of it. It's just, sometimes when you're allowed to practice and work on certain things, you're going to get better, not be rushed into a starter role, which I feel like happens a lot with first round quarterbacks. I think that's why so many first round quarterbacks actually fail. Sometimes you just need time to develop, and these young quarterbacks are thrown into situations where they're set up to fail and expected to lift everybody else up around them. But sometimes quarterbacks need the other players to be able to lift them up and allow them to develop. So if the Patriots allow Drake May to develop behind Jacoby Brissett for a full season, I think they're in a really good situation. And honestly, after the Bill Belichick era, the Patriots roster in general is in a really, really bad spot. I think they had a extremely underrated draft, and I'm actually a huge fan of the two wide receivers they took. I think Drake May at number 3 was really smart. Don't trade out of it and give it to another team. It's just overall seems like a new era in New England, and I'm not excited for it being a Jet fan. But from an NFL fan perspective, it's nice to see the Patriots actually going in a direction where, they make a first round selection and you're completely confused and you're like, I've never even heard of that offensive lineman out of a D2 school. It's nice to see them have some sort of clarity in the direction they're heading. And I really hope to see them make strides and allow their fans to really, you know, understand the direction of their football team again. Let me know what you guys think of the Drake Maye pick. Do you agree with me? Have you flip-flopped, or are you still fully set on Drake Maye being a bust? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Helps out the channel so much. And see you in the next one.